What if I told you the reason you're not making the sales that you know you could be has nothing to do with your strategy, your offers, or truly even your pricing, and everything to do with what your energy is silently saying before you even open your mouth? Here's the thing, you're either pulling them closer or pushing them away with everything that you say, everything that you do, and the energy that you emit. Most women are unconsciously pushing their dream clients away, not because they don't have the ability to change their lives and to offer them an incredible service, but because they don't realize these 5 subconscious leaks that are currently going on in their life and business. And so in today's video, I am going to teach you how to fix that so you can go from pushing to pulling your dream clients into your offers. The things that I'm teaching you inside of this video have the power to completely transform your life and business. And I mean it when I say, once you implement these strategies, like a magnet, you will have dream clients coming towards you. So much clients that you may not even be able to handle the demand. So it's so important that you take this work seriously and you truly understand why the subconscious plays such a big role in sales. And so to do that, let me give you some context as to how it does. Our subconscious mind, it's like a sponge, okay? It's the very thing that runs your day-to-day operations. And in fact, 95% of our time in our lives is spent living in the subconscious. It's responsible for your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, the things that you do. Even me speaking right now, my subconscious is doing this. I'm not consciously thinking about every single word before I say them. I don't have notes. It's just me going off what I think is right, which is the subconscious at play. Now, I want you to imagine when it comes to then a purchase decision. Most people assume that the sale happens when somebody DMs you or they jump on a sales call. But in fact, the sale is laid out weeks, months, days before that. In every piece of content that they consume, and every time they hear your name, their brain is taking that on. And so when you can understand this, you will realize, oh shit, the sale actually has nothing to do with the moment that they pay and everything to do with everything I do before that. And so what I'm going to be teaching you is how to build that subconscious resonance so that at the right day, on the right time, when they're like, yeah, you know what, this is something that I want, they will buy immediately, but only when all of these other subconscious frameworks that I'm teaching you today are implemented. And before we dive into the 5 subconscious sales pillars, if you want to do this work more deeply with me, for this month, I have a Savage Sales Challenge coming to you for just $33. This is 30 days of sales strategy, sales implementation, sales psychology, so that you leave the 30 days having at least doubled your income. I'll leave the link in the bio. There's no pressure to join, but if you do want to go deeper and actually action this and implement it in real time with me by your side, then I would highly recommend that you jump into the Savage Sales Challenge for just $33. The first subconscious sales hack for you to use and implement today is to shift your marketing from pain to pleasure. Most marketing digs into pain. Elite marketers and people who truly care about their clients mirror their potential. This is called the Pygmalion effect. Okay, and this speaks about when we reflect somebody's highest potential back to them, they are more likely to embody it and rise into the identity that you mirror. This is called also your mirror neurons of when you speak up to somebody in your marketing and you remind them of what's possible and you remind them of how capable they are to achieve a certain result. All of a sudden, clients start flooding to you. They flock to you because you make them feel better about themselves and about where they are going. One of my clients is actually a fitness coach, and she works with really high-level corporate women who are often very stressed. And so she was doing a lot of marketing that was like, you're stressed, you're burnt out, you're bloated, you don't want to feel like shit again this summer. And she couldn't understand why these women who were easily pulling in 100 to 200K in annual revenue or annual income, whatever they call it in the corporate world, were having price objections to her offer, which was pretty mid-ticket. And so we flipped it to being more desire-based and actually calling them up. We spoke about how good they are going to feel. We spoke about an identity affirmed that they're the type of women who take action, that they're the type of women that hold themselves to high standards, that they're the type of women that aren't willing to accept a certain situation. Lo and behold, the inquiries started flooding in. So when you are doing your marketing, make sure you're speaking to somebody's potential, not to their pain. Subconscious sales hack number 2 is using these 4 magic words. I believe in these 4 words so much that I would get it tattooed, and I would tattoo it on every single person if I needed to, so that you remember to use this in your marketing, because this is what makes people buy. When we are selling a product or a service, whatever it is that you sell, you have to remember that people aren't buying that thing. They're buying it because it in some way relates to a core desire that they have. As an example, if I have a core desire of being loved, if I'm thinking of hiring a mindset coach, I'm thinking about how is this going to help me get to this core desire of being loved. So in your marketing, your content, your sales, your messaging, don't just say, have a better mindset. Use these 4 words so that you can feel more in love, so that you can go to dinner with your partner without feeling frustrated. So that you can. This point is so short, sharp, and simple, but it's so potent, and this is why everybody needs to implement it. Relate everything that you say back to their core desire, so that you can. Subconscious sales hack number 3 is dissolve the internal limitations, not the surface level objections. I actually have a full video on this because it's so important to understand that the objection that somebody gives you is not the truth of the matter. It's the internal limitation and the parts conflict that they have underneath. This is why I'm obsessed with sales psychology, because I wish I knew these things earlier. Okay. So even studies show this. People are not typically afraid of the price or the risk. It's because of an internal identity conflict. There's a part of them that wants to invest in your program, that wants to invest in their brand, that wants to XYZ, whatever it is that you offer. There's also a part of them that's really fucking afraid. There's a part of them maybe in a bit of a flight or flight that is afraid of, what if it won't work out? What if I don't get that result? And so if she cannot see, or he, if they can't see themselves living that reality, there is an identity conflict. There is a part of them that wants it. There is a part of them that doesn't believe. And so their logical mind will come up with objections. This is called the spotlight effect, which is a completely different topic, but we'll talk about it. Their brain will come up with all of these objections as to why they can't. Money, time, partner, time of year, whatever it may be. But the actual fear underneath the surface is an internal identity conflict. When you can understand what they are, you can intentionally dissolve those in your content by telling stories that solve those problems. I had a client who really struggled with getting clients in, and everybody would say, I just can't afford it. I can't afford it right now. Timing, this, that. And when we actually dug deeper and we asked those people, I don't know if this is the truth. What is the actual thing underneath the thing? It was always that they were afraid that they'd done programs similar, they'd done mentoring similar, and they hadn't got that return that they desired. And so when you can understand the internal fear that is actually happening underneath the surface, you can ask yourself the stories that would relate to that person, that would help them build trust in you, your offer, and themselves, to help them move from that place of fear into empowerment, and then they can make that purchase decision from a better place. Subconscious sales hack number 4 is your conviction will speak before your words do. Psychology actually shows us that we make a decision about somebody within the first 3 seconds. And in fact, a study from Princeton, I've got my notes here, shows that humans form trust assessments in under a tenth of the second based on non-verbal cues, meaning your tone, eye contact, body language set the tone before your words do. Now, this is really, really important because a lot of people misunderestimate this when it comes to their sales. Again, everybody seems to think that sales happen in that final I'm in or I'm out decision, but it's in everything else. So how you show up on your Instagram stories, how you show up in your reels. Are you is your body language a little bit turned away? Do you notice that in your photos, if you look at your Instagram feed right now, do your photos have filters on them? And every single photo, are you looking directly at the camera? Are you in the center? Or do you often see you're to the side? You're avoiding making eye contact. If somebody were to ask you a question, are you comfortable maintaining that eye contact with a strong body presence, even in questions that maybe feel uncomfortable? That level of conviction and confidence and self-trust within yourself is actually externally communicated, whether you like it or not. And as humans, we buy from people who have a really, really solid sense of self. We don't really want to buy from somebody who we can tell is a little bit shaky in themselves, who we can tell maybe doesn't really believe what they're saying. We're not going to buy from them. We like to buy from people who have trust, certainty, and conviction within themselves because it allows us to see that within us. It acclimatizes. We rise to their leadership. And so if you are wanting to sell, whether you sell a service or a product, best be fucking sure that your conviction matters, and working on your body language and your internal levels of confidence is probably more important than setting up those ads. The final subconscious sales hack, number 5, which is so underlooked, is the power of consistency and repetition. Most people don't take this into consideration when it comes to building their brand. And we maybe are a little bit arrogant with it in thinking that we can just show up when we want. But the truth is, for somebody to feel that subconscious trust and resonance, and for us to plant all those seeds in their head, like I spoke about at the start of the video, the most important thing is the consistency and the repetition of your message. If you're changing topics that you're speaking about every few weeks because you've not made the sales from it or people haven't come through, that will repel your dream clients, and they won't be able to explain it, but they will be able to see unconsciously, and they'll take this on, that maybe you have a little bit of shiny object syndrome yourself. People want to see the same thing spoken about. They want to see how you lead. They want to see how you show up, even in times of trouble. Now, recently, I've been going through a really shitty breakup. I'll be honest. We were together for almost 6 years. It's been the toughest time of my life. And yet I have shown up every single day still. I've shared value with my community. I've helped my clients. I've shared their wins on my story. And that has actually led to so many people being pulled towards me. Why? Because they can see that I am somebody that they can see as that stable base, and I am consistent. I am conscious about my levels of presence and about my consistency. And for anybody who is purchasing from you, whether it's high ticket, mid ticket, low ticket, they want to know that you are a woman of your word and that you are a woman who leads. When you can showcase this and you can show your embodiment and you can show that you don't let tough times knock you down, that energy is fucking magnetic to your dream client. I always think this when I think of incredible CEOs who have built businesses that we can't even fathom. Even Alex and Layla Hormozi, and how they post videos every single week, no matter what they're going through in their personal life. That keeps us coming back and addicted to their content because, one, it's bingeable. We can watch loads and loads and loads of it. We have them in the back of our minds. And 2, it embodies this level of courage and conviction to continue to show up even when things aren't going our way. That creates a lot of subconscious resonance for people to know that they can trust you, trust your products, and want to pull towards you and get closer to your energy. And so how can you use this? Well, you can make sure that you have posts going out every single day. You email twice per week. You have a YouTube every single week. You sell on your stories every single day. You are consistent, even if it means pre-scheduling things if you're going away or you're going through a tough time. Pre-schedule things, but make sure that you have that base for people to know that they can come to your page, consume your content, get addicted to you, and then at the right time, on the right day, with the right offer, they will always buy. So there are 5 subconscious sales hacks that you can go and use and implement immediately in your life and business. Make sure if you like this video to drop me a subscribe. It means the freaking world. And if you want to join Savage Sales, you want to do 30 days of sales training with me. We're going to be talking about content, your brand, your offers, your messaging, how to sell in the DMs, how to create a really, really irresistible offer that people want to buy. It's going to be 4 live calls, daily trainings inside of Telegram, all for the very small price of $33 because I'm just obsessed with this work. And what I want you to know as well is that Savage Sales is not about sales calls or pitching to people. In fact, it's the opposite. It's not about being a savage by way of being a mean girl and just like making people pay, as there are some people on this platform that suggest. It's more so about how do we be savage in our levels of consistency, our conviction, and our energy, and that will pull your dream clients in. So I hope to see you inside of the challenge. I will drop the link in the bio. It's only available for this month in October. And after that, maybe I'll put it up for sale for like $333 or something. But for now, I will see you inside. I can't wait to have you there and to meet you and to help you blow up your sales. And I will see you in the next video.